I'm good.
Okay, this meeting is now called to order. This is the regular meeting of the City of Seaside Parks and Rec Commission on Monday, September 15th. Roll call. Oh, I should say the time. So it's 5:40.
Commissioner Pappas,
Here.
Commissioner Walton, Commissioner White, Commissioner Gaines,
Here.
Chair Maxwell.
Present. Okay, we have a quorum. Okay, review of the agenda. There are any items that arose after the 72-hour posting deadline. This is the point in the meeting where a vote may be taken to add the item to the agenda. A 2/3 majority vote is required. Are there any commissioners that have any items that they would like to add to the agenda? Seeing none? Okay, moving on. Okay, public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the commission on matters within the jurisdiction of the City of Seaside, but not on this agenda, may do so during the public comment period for up to 3 minutes. Comments on specific agenda items are heard under that item. For the public record, please state your name.
Members of the public in the chamber, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, you can use the raise your hand feature or dial *9 if you're on a telephone. Please come down to the podium, sir.
Hello. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
So I'm here about the, what I have to do to get a proposal for, like you said, the sports complex or football fields for the kids, for the youth. Really, we need a whole lot to do for the youth around. There's nothing for us to do around here at all. We have to take our kids out of town. Everybody does to do anything. So we need a football field that has the lines and the goalposts where kids can practice. For the last 50-something years, there's never been a field for the little football team to practice on that has lines and goalposts. So when we play on Sunday and go to this, it's strange to them. They don't know how to use the sidelines and all that because there's never, ever been a field in Seaside for them to practice on. And we need to change that. And a basketball gym, you know, like you said, it needs a whole sport complex out here. Baseball, basketball, all of that. And then people will come if we have, there's a facilities, we could have World Series games, AAU basketball, all that. They would all come if we build it and have it out there for them. But there's nothing here for Seaside, for the youth at all. Putt-putt golf should be like Spyglass. You know what I mean? A course designed like that should be golf carts for the kids to ride that look like Laguna Seca, look like their track. All that should be out there for the youth.
Sir, they're not going to interact with you during this
Oh,
process.
I mean, so whatever I need to know, whatever I need to do to get the ball rolling for that. And I have talked to a couple of people in the community, like Reggie Jackson. He claimed, he said he would help also. So it is people that's probably willing to help, but that's it.
Thank you for your comments.
Public comment is still open.
Carla Lobo, you may unmute yourself and make your public comment.
Thank you. Good evening, commissioners. I apologize for me not being there in person. I had a previous commitment that took me out of town and I couldn't get back on time. So I want to take a moment to reflect on my time serving with you all on the Parks and Recreation Commission. In the last couple of years as a commissioner, we have worked together to place critical items on our agendas, items that were not new, but once sat for years on prior work plans with little to no action. From the start, I've asked to tackle meaningful issues, reviewing and modernizing outdated sections of the municipal code, and discussions around reinstating the youth commission, strengthening collaborations with nonprofits, developing stronger outreach to our community, and tackling objectives on our master plan. As the last individual mentioned, a new outdoor facilities that includes a football and an indoor basketball gym is incredibly important. And that's one of the master plan's objectives that we did identify in this year's and previous years' work plans, such as the creation of a new indoor facility, includes a dedicated basketball gym and a football gym, which was identified as a top priority by residents, as we heard here tonight as well, during the inception of that master plan. This is not just about buildings, it's about creating safe and accessible spaces for our youth and families that match the needs of the growing city. To those of you who will continue to serve, do not treat this seat as a box to check, a title to hold, or the footrest of those in power or those you call your friends. Show up prepared, understand the issues before you, think about the impact each decision will have, not just today, but years from now. Don't just show up with opinions or what you think sounds good in the moment. Actually do the work. If you are sitting in these seats without putting forth meaningful effort, ask yourself, why are you here? As for myself, I have chosen to resign from this commission in order to pursue other avenues that are deeply as meaningful as this commission was to me. This resignation does not mean my work ends. It simply continues in a different way as a resident who will remain actively committed to holding this commission accountable. I want to thank each and every one of you for the opportunity to serve alongside you. I will continue to support this commission's growth and its ability to fulfill the master plan objectives that our community asks for. The legacy you leave will not be measured in titles or attendance. It will be measured in whether those master plan objectives, like that indoor facility, move from words on paper to real opportunities for our residents. Do not waste the power of this commission. The people of Seaside are counting on you to act. Don't sit idle. Don't wait for someone else to bring the ideas. You have the power and responsibility to make meaningful change. Be willing to ask the hard questions, to push through resistance, and to hold yourselves and others accountable. That is how you honor the community you serve. Thank you, and I wish you all well. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you for your comments. Diane Nielsen, you may unmute and make your public comment. Diane, I'm not allowed to unmute you.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. It's different than the city council meetings, apparently, right? Because you can usually see these things on your screen, but I don't have a raise your hand feature on this for some reason. And I always have before, and the unmute usually shows up in the middle of the screen. So anyhow, good evening, City Council. My name is Diane Nielsen, and it's nice to see everybody there and that you got a quorum. I have a suggestion about our tree program, the free tree giveaway that should happen every spring, but it ends up happening more in the summertime, and it is not an ideal time to plant trees. I would like to request and see if it is possible that the free tree giveaway program can start in January or February. I don't know the logistics of why that's not possible, but that is my suggestion, and I hope that something can be done in order to make trees survival more likely. It'll be much more successful. It's not fun to have dry weather right after you've planted a tree. The tree doesn't like it very much. Um, and I hope we have I think there's $5,000 next year instead of 10,000, which is disappointing, but that's the way it is. At least we have that, as if you can confirm that for me. And I yield the rest of my time at this point. I will want to comment later on something, so I guess I'll have to ask in the chat because my raised hand is missing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Members of the public in the chambers, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, you may use the raise your hand feature or dial *9. Chair, at this moment, I'm not seeing any other members of the public wishing to make public comment.
Okay, public comment is still open. Okay, public comment is closed.
Chair, if I may, I would like to answer a couple of those questions
Yes, sir.
that popped up. In regards to the space, in regards to the commenter about the facility space, we understand that that is a need here in the community. There's a variety of factors that come into play when we are looking at this. Location, funding are the main pieces. I know right now there was a discussion when we were having talks about Seaside East on the other side of General Gym, and there was a sports complex up in those initial plans. And so I think when the city does talking about Seaside East again, that is where the potential for a facility like that may lie. In regards to the tree program, I know last year I was talking with this public works superintendent to try and open it up faster. The response I got was in regards to Hannah Gardens. They were not ready for us to roll out the program until April. And I think it has something to do with their supply chain. So we'll follow up again and see if we can get the trees earlier this year. But I just wanted to make sure that that was the reason why we didn't start. And to confirm, we do have $5,000. And just so the community is aware, we did have $10,000 last year, and my calculations are we only spent about $6,000. So in reality, that's what we've had for the last couple of years. So the 10,000, we were a little over on what was actually distributed.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 5, approval of minutes of our July 21st, 2025 meeting.
I move that we approve the agenda with any necessary corrections.
Okay, it's been motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from our July 21st, 2025 meeting. Anything under the questions? No? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, the next item is business item 6A. Nomination and election of a vice chair for the Parks and Recreation Commission. Nominations are now open. I'm yeah, I am the chair, and then who knows? I could become ill or something. So someone needs to be able to step in.
I've been there before.
I know you have, and you did a wonderful job too, and it's great to see you back. So would you be willing to be the vice chair for the time being?
Yes, I will, for the time being.
Okay, I'd like to nominate Ms. Gaines.
And I assume that you accept the nomination.
I do.
Are there any other nominations?
Any other nominations? No. Okay, welcome.
Oh, let's
Oh,
Gotta do it 3
move.
times.
Let's move and
we gotta do it. Okay. I move that we,
Oh, it has been moved.
it has been moved.
it hasn't. Yeah, there was a nomination, so we need the motion in the second, and then vote.
I made the motion to I have Alicia, the vice chair. Seconded. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, hearing none. Welcome.
All
Okay,
right, I'll be here.
so we need a new name tag for you? No,
Yep.
mine just a regular one. What's up with that?
I
Okay,
know, but I'm
anyway.
vice chair.
Well, it is good to see you back here.
Good.
Let's open up public comment.
Oh, public comment is now open.
Members of the public in the chamber, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, use the raise your hand feature or dial *9. Chair, I'm seeing no members of the public wishing to make public comment on this item.
Okay, thank you. Public comment is now closed. Okay. Receive an update on the trails at Lincoln Cunningham, Havana Solis, Manzanita Stewart, and Laguna Grande Parks.
Chair, I'm going to call up Public Works Director Thomas Corman to give the first part of this discussion, and then I will follow up on a piece as well.
Okay.
Good evening. I'm Thomas Corman, Public Works Director and City Engineer. Yes, so for the Lincoln Cunningham Park, so we're still working on those, as you know. And so the trails through the park are open. The landscaping is still underway. And I have a report relay from Andres Bear, the Assistant Public Works Director, that the playground equipment is supposed to arrive at the end of this week, and then construction will begin next week. And so we're anticipating that to be approximately 30 days. That's going to be performed by in-house by our own city staff. Yeah, let's see. And would you like to?
An update on
I do not have any update on Havana Solis. We have not performed any work up there recently. So, yeah.
And I'll just follow up. Havana Solis and Manzanita Stewart, those two parks are intertwined with Lincoln Cunningham as we look at doing the trails overall. However, we knew that the cost for Lincoln Cunningham was quite extensive, so that's why we focused on that one main park as it was the largest. So as the city, starts to move forward and we can get some more funding, we will look at working those other two parks into the mix. At the last city council meeting, there was an update on the San Pablo Bridge, which is also a crucial connection between Manzanita Stewart and Lincoln Cunningham. So we are awaiting some funding from an earmark through Congressman Panetta's office. We have roughly $300,000 currently in the budget, and if we are able to get the earmark of $850,000, then we should be able to move forward with the work to replace the superstructure of the bridge. So while we're waiting for that funding, so that would probably, if we get the earmark, that would be the next piece of the puzzle for those trails and connecting them, and then we'll continue to move forward from there. In regards to Laguna Grande Park, I was recently notified by the representatives for California State Parks with the grant that I applied for and we're receiving funding. I was awaiting the environmental from NEPA to clear. So that has passed. So right now, I'm still waiting for the state to send us the actual grant agreement. They were reviewing some final documentation, so I should be receiving that soon. And then we will be receiving a report for the Laguna Grande JPA at a meeting in November, where we should have secured all of the required permits to do the necessary work within the park. So we are moving forward. I have a proposal. BFS Landscape Architects is working on a proposal for the design of the trails, so that once we get the state contract for the grant, we'll have the design contract. We will have them start working on the design, and then we'll be able to move forward. So we know that these processes do take some time, but they are moving forward. So hopefully we'll be able to be seeing some movement in Laguna Grande in the near future.
Thank you for your presentation. Any questions? Okay. Thank you also for your presentation, Thomas. Go for it.
Is there a time frame when you think this might be?
We're looking at it will probably be sometime in 2026 that we'll be able to break ground on construction for Laguna Grande. We don't know about the time frame for the governor's earmark for the bridge, so we're still waiting on that. So, and they haven't really given us a timeline on when we'll hear, but we are hopeful that we'll have some sort of understanding here within the next few months.
Okay.
That was pretty good music. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, public comment is now open.
Members of the public in the chamber, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, use the raise your hand feature or dial *9 if you wish to make public comment on this item. Chair, I'm not seeing any members of the public wishing to make public comment.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, public comment is now closed on this item. Okay, the next item is 6C. Have a discussion on how to advocate for additional parks staff in next year's public works operation budget. My idea is we show up to the council meetings and just keep pounding away that idea that we do need to have more public works staff. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It needs to be included in the next year's budget. We need to keep pounding that idea forward, and eventually, hopefully, the council will listen and do that. So that's all that we can do, I think, is advocate. And we can also let our community friends and neighbors know that they can do likewise. And the bigger the voice, I think, the more that the council will listen. So, anyone else have any other ideas or more to add to that? Because that was kind of general, I know.
Yeah, that's all we can do is advocate to the city, show up to the meetings
Right.
or staff.
Well, the city council meetings are monthly. Well, they're bi-monthly, actually. They're the first Thursday and the third Thursday of every month. And they're here in these chambers. The meeting starts at 5 o'clock. And the public comment is near the beginning of the meeting, like it is on our agenda here. So, and we're all welcome to the whole community is welcome to come and speak on behalf of that issue. Because the public work staff has always been like in need of more bodies. You know what I mean? They're using the same people to do a bunch of different things, you know, and they're thin. They're really, really thin. They're doing the best they can with what they have, but they need money. So they do. They do work hard. I see them all over the place, but they're just too few in numbers because we have, look how many parks and facilities we have and stuff. So anyway, just
Since the agenda item is to discuss strategies, do we have any data on the number of people, where they would be working, what the need is for. I don't think it's going to be effective for us to just show up at a city council meeting and say, we need more public works people. I think probably any department in the city could say, we need more help, we need more people. So we need to put something concrete around that since we're discussing strategies.
Okay, could we ask the Public Works, whatever, you have different titles, I know. You're an engineer, I also know you're Public Works
Yeah,
Director.
Thank you. Yeah, Thomas Corman, Public Works Director and City Engineer. Yes, yes, thank you.
I know you're a whole bunch of things.
In anticipation for this discussion, I reached out to one of our on-call consultants that we already have a contract for, a landscape architecture firm who we've worked with in the past, but they are on our on-call list. And so I requested a proposal for them to do basically exactly what you're saying, is to take a look at all the parks, do a brief assessment of them, and then, since they work across the state, to basically look and compare the staffing levels as compared to similar cities with the similar number of parks. And so it's really not that complicated of a task. It's something that beyond the scope that we could do, with our own staff. It's something that we actually already have funding in our consultants, so to use at our discretion, that we could do that. So, that's something that I'm proposing that could assist in this conversation once we get that report, and then we could present that, in whatever way, shape, or form you would like that to be used. But I think that's probably the best way to go about this, because we do know that, there's a lot of help with FOSPA. And then out of our staff, it's basically divided up in Public Works between, parks, irrigation, fleet, storm drainage, water, and then sanitation. Parks has the most number of staff members, and then one staff member from that group on Saturdays, reports and works with FOSPA. So that takes them away from the day-to-day operations, because they use that day basically on their Saturday to assist. But at first glance, it does really look like it's severely, understaffed for the amount of parks. And really, we're asking them to do more things in-house. For instance, I just, mentioned the building of the playground. And prior to that, the gazebo that was built in Laguna Grande, and other landscaping, they're utilized for around City Hall, the library, and then within the public right-of-way as well. Some of the landscaping that you see along Fremont, they'll take over the maintenance in the median, and then over on the bulb outs that you see there as well. So that's one thing that I'm proposing that we could get started to assist in this effort to really look at those staffing levels. I'll end with this, that the final task that I asked them to look at is that, where we can look for other grants. Because they're a firm that seeks after grants, very specialized in this as well. So knowing that the improvements that need to be made at each park can look after certain grant programs and show us where to target, our efforts, so they're not wasted. So I can answer any questions at this time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Question. Mike, I'm curious about qualifications with the staff, because I know like one person might know about irrigation,
Yes.
but doesn't know about putting a playground together. I'm just making something up. But is there like a qualifications or training for everybody? Because it sounds like they're kind of being cross-trained in everything, right? So you do have like a leader that trains them and how to do the different things. So anybody could, they don't have to be specialized in one thing, right?
That's correct. When they're hired within the city, they're usually at a worker one level. And then, after some years of experience, they're promoted to a worker two level. So within the worker ones and twos, they rotate around. And sometimes that's very helpful for them, that they basically get a really good feel of what they like to do. Someone likes to run a mower, someone likes to do work on, weed abatement and planting. Others find no, I really have a liking to working on the utility side. So above that, we have the senior worker. So there's a senior worker in irrigation and then a senior worker in parks. And those are non-rotating positions. So within that, something that we're also trying to develop is maybe gaining a certification within the city, that there's a city arborist that's on our staff. So there's training opportunities for them, as they progress up through that. So, yes.
That's good to know,
Mhm.
because we don't want people to get hurt, right? So that might help broaden the search for people to
Right.
work, knowing that they don't have to be specialized in one avenue. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That was my question.
One other idea that we have been just thinking about is that right now that irrigation is separate from parks, although they both work on parks, is that somehow we could possibly gain a position that once there's some reorganization, that parks and irrigation could be one division. So somehow by looking at the staffing levels, of course we have to talk through this all with the union, the representation, but we could actually possibly gain another position that way, and then develop some other certifications in-house that would assist with that. Mhm.
Anyone else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Okay, public comment on this item is now open.
Members of the public in the chamber, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, use the raise your hand feature or dial *9. The member on Zoom listed iPhone, please unmute and make a public comment.
Good evening. My name is Juliana Fiala. Please excuse my ignorance. If this is ridiculous. I'm just wondering, are there opportunities to get some of the work done by volunteers, or perhaps are part-time employment an option? Because I know that can be more affordable, and also it can be easier for people to take part-time employment as opposed to full-time employment. But those are the things that I'm thinking of. And other than that, I will be intending on going to the city council meeting and advocating on behalf of the Parks and Rec and getting more money for more workers. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Public comment is still open.
Chair, I'm not seeing any more members of the public wishing to make public comment at this time.
Okay. Public comment is now closed. Okay, moving
Mr.
on. Moving on to business item 6D, 2025-2020.
I'm sorry.
Oops.
Diane looks like wanted to make on
Okay.
this item.
We'll go back. Public comment.
Diane, go ahead and unmute and make a public comment.
Thank you. I'm sorry I have to do it this way, but there is no hand here.
Don't worry.
Anyhow, Diane Nielsen here again. When you're talking about looking at things you would like to have Public Works get more staff for or do more of, I remember we did parks assessment about a year and a half ago, and we went around to all the parks. I don't know if that list has been addressed, but there is a list that exists of things that we did when we did our parks tour. So that's one place you can go back and look. And I agree, we definitely need more park staff. We probably have more parks than any other city our size than the average has. And we've been, ever since I've been involved with the city of Seaside since about 2018, we've been short-staffed. It's really important to keep our storm drains, our plants, our streets, and things leading up to our parks, like pathways and trimming and that sort of thing, in good condition, so people will use them. And also, we don't want to look like we're neglecting our parks, because we put all this money into them, like we're doing with Lincoln Cunningham. And we want to maintain what's there. One idea is to, I know the Public Works coordinates with FOSPA, but maybe there could be a more close relationship in making things more efficient in what is needed by both sides, the city and FOSPA. We do have a lot of volunteers that we have in our at least 9 parks already. And it's super important to maintain what we have instead of building out more and spreading ourselves thinner. Than I think it's more important to maintain and improve what we have currently. We have many parks that don't have anybody to take care of them. And and one thing was mentioned by the Public Works Director is having an arborist. And I know that there is a staff person who does have an arborist license. And I wonder why we aren't utilizing our in-house, not designated arborist, but somebody who is an arborist. It could be really efficient. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Public comment is now still open.
Chair, I'm not seeing anyone else wishing to make public comment.
Okay, public comment on this item is now closed. Okay, business item 6D. Our 2025-2026 work plan progress review.
Right, commissioners, so got a brief presentation to kind of go over where we are with the work plan. So first, we can talk, we have the mission statement of the Parks and Rec Commission is to promote and advocate for parks and recreation services, advance and preserve facilities, and ensure safe, accessible parks and recreation for all residents and visitors. So some of the work plan objectives for 25-26 fiscal year was serve as advisory role of the city council, review programs, fees, and collaborations, support staff and community enrichment, review CIP, other projects, and the budget. Act as an advisory role for active transportation plan, and to promote ongoing community engagement. So as an advisory role of the city council, the goal is to review the proposals and recommendations that prior to the city council reviewing them if they pertain to parks and recreation, monitor emerging parks and recreation issues. This could be internally, externally, trends, anything that's going on in the field of parks and recreation, and to provide informed input and policy guidance. This could be from policies for programs, for staff, a variety of different things. So the commission can take account of reviewing the current policies that the recreation department has, and provide updates and recommendations for future policies as well. When it comes to programs, fees, and collaborations, one of the goals is to review our annual programs, fees, rental policies, collaborate with city partners and commissions. This could be other commissions, local nonprofits, such as FOSPA or Sustainable Seaside. Support events, Blues in the Park. I know the commission was out there supporting Blues in the Park over this last year. However, there's a variety of other community events that are internal and external, which the commission can support and kind of be that liaison with those other groups and request annual budget updates. So this could be something reviewing the mid-year budget and quarterly budgets, kind of just seeing where we are in line with the Parks and Recreation departments to see how the budget's looking, if there's areas for saving, any areas that we may need to request additional funds for certain projects and programs, maybe at the mid-year budget time. So when we look at staff support and community enrichment, assist staff in prioritizing, the limited resources. We just heard about, the parks and the limited resources. So how can the commission recognize that and help staff prioritize some of those projects, whether it be, focusing on certain parks, coming up with priority list of those parks that we want to see. Something that the commission did a while back where we had our priority list. Maybe it's revisiting that one so we know which parks we want to put at the top of that list. Participate in field user group meetings. This was a newer item that was in this current work plan, just to kind of reach out to those user groups, kind of figure out the priorities of each group. We do have limited field space and it is a hot commodity. And when we talk about Catino Park, Soper Field, those areas are rented pretty much throughout the whole year. And each field has multiple requests coming in. So we also want to support youth engagement in parks. How do we get the youth to the parks? Not just necessarily to play and enjoy them, but maybe we're looking at ways to get them to participate in active cleanups, being part of the solution when we're talking about volunteers. And maybe the commission can help foster relationships with these individuals, and maybe they could be the next maintenance one workers when positions come up, right? I think individuals that spend time in parks enjoy spending time in parks and may want to make a difference as they start to get older and enter the workforce. And then attend annual Parks and Rec conference. So there's actually, there's two coming up. One smaller one that will be in Morgan Hill in November, and then there's the really large conference in Long Beach in March. So I think the one in November is a really good opportunity for the commission to go. It's local. It's a nice one-day event that, the commissioner should really think about looking at attending. And I know a lot of commissioners in the past have gone to the one held in November. Some of the capital improvement projects that were highlighted in the work plan, looking for a second dog park, location, seeing if there's a place that we can, advocate for that. Laguna Grande pathway, we talked about that already with the trails, looking at lighting, that is one of the features that was included. But depending on funding, these are areas that we need to, kind of figure out how it all fits in. We discussed a feasibility study for the indoor facility. I know we had, the consultant came and spoke not too long ago, but looking at kind of continuing those talks and conversations and making sure that it's still part of the framework of the commission. ADA playground equipment. I know that this was something that the commission really, for a few years was really into this, making sure that all the new parks and playgrounds and stuff that we get installed does have ADA playground features, and making that a piece of the fabric of all of our new upgrades for our parks and playgrounds. Irrigation improvements and community gardens. You know, while water is still a major issue, I think we've become very innovative at the way that we can irrigate our parks. Multiple parks now have the underground tanks, which has become really beneficial to FOSPA and those other groups that work on the community gardens. So I think it's looking at those and seeing what are the priorities and the next parks in the list that could maybe get some of those underground water tanks. We talked about replace the Catino Park light towers. I think by my understanding that the tower is finally gone, so it's finally been removed. So that's a win. It is in the budget this year to get the new tower in, but then we still got to look at the rest of the towers, to ensure that we don't have another situation where it does fall down in another storm that we could potentially have. And then explore the Seaside Trail System. I think that this goes outside of just the trails that we talked about, Lincoln Cunningham, and Manzanita Stewart and Laguna Grande. We have a lot of possibilities for trails in our city, and I think it's looking at that, whether it be along General Jim Moore or connecting Roberts Lake Trail. There's a variety of aspects here. So there's some of the ongoing projects. We talked about the trails, promote use of parks, rec center, pool, and facilities. I think I still hear to this day that our pool is one of the best kept secrets, right? But how do we promote the uses of those facilities, right? We want to get more users. And the good thing is we now we have a new software that we can use where we can actually track the data of the use of our facilities, which is really cool. I can, tell you how many people attended Oldmeyer Center during Halloween, in a variety of different ways. We can look at monthly, yearly, daily. We can find out what time of day is the best and most frequent use that is coming to our facilities. Support Blues in the Park, youth and adult programs. I think we want to continue being innovative when we do have new programs and events and activities. We can constantly do the same things, but how are we going to keep the community engaged and active and hitting those trends that may be what's popular now? Look at our park improvements, monitor our park improvements, Laguna Grande, Capra, Highland Otis, Manzanita Stewart. And then collaborate with other commissioners on landscaping and trees. I think that, that when we look at our collaborations with other commissions, I think that we've gone a long way. And I think it's really beneficial when we look at how we can partner with Neighborhood Improvement Commission. The Environmental Commission finally has enough members to come back into the fold. And I think that there's a lot of overlap between all of these commissions. So we look at some of the progress review as of September. The advisory role component, commission's done really well. We reviewed the neighboring request, program updates, trail projects, programs and fees, supported Blues in the Parks, collaborated with commissions. CIP, we discussed Lincoln Cunningham, Laguna Grande, indoor facility feasibility, and ongoing promote events and park facility use. So I think when you look at the overall work plan as a whole, there's still a lot more areas that the commission can work on. But there's plenty of areas that the commission has already done a lot of good work, and I would recommend moving forward as we look into the next 6 months. Take a deep dive into through the work plan and see how we can address any more of our projects and plans that we have in this next year. And so with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Anybody have comments, questions, additions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
And it's about my neighborhood park because last in meetings before I was sick, they said that the playground equipment was supposed to come to Salvador Park. No playground equipment has came. It's still one Jurassic Park rock and a swing set, and that's it. And some gravel.
Okay.
So they said that there would be playground equipment. There's no playground equipment there. There's 2 benches, 1 big Jurassic Park rock, and a swing set. I've been to other parks where they have playground equipment that's nice and colorful and attract the children. We have a lot of children in that neighborhood because it's bordered by 4 different areas, 4 different streets, Darwin, Harding, 16 and 1700 block, which they come down from Vallejo as well, and some from Luzerne. So I don't know what happened to that playground equipment, but it never reached Sabado Park.
I'll look into that, but if I'm remembering correctly, the footprint of where the playground equipment goes, the swing set will take up a lot of space. And so because of the fall zones and everything that goes in around a swing set, you have to have so much space before you have a next piece of equipment. So I'll work with the Public Works Department and see if we can figure out what happened there. But my inkling is that there isn't enough space where we can add anything because of that swing set. So, and I think when all that was happening, that was before our Public Works Director joined us. So I'll work with him and we can double check and look into that.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you for your presentation.
Can I get a copy of it?
Huh?
Can I get a copy?
You have this.
Yeah, I liked it.
Presentation, the PowerPoint.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's
I know,
basically,
but I like it. It's a good outline.
okay, but it's basically this. It is.
She wants pictures.
Okay.
Members of the public in the chamber wishing to make public comment, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, use the raise your hand feature or dial *9.
Public comment is now open.
Chair, I'm not seeing any members of the public wishing to make public comment.
Public comment is still open. Okay, public comment on this item is now closed. Okay, the next item of business is 6E. Discuss purchasing additional swag for tabling at future city events. So I'll open it up to, we already do have a little list of stuff here. But
That we purchased.
we're always open to more ideas if you have any other ideas too. Go ahead, whatever, you got it there?
Yeah. I have
Okay.
that. Let's see.
Sorry. Commissioner Pappas has some ideas to add.
Well, yeah, no, I just did an AI dive and it came up with some good items that are reasonably priced. One of them was cooling towels. One of them insect repellent, hand fans. Hats or visors, cooling headbands, little fanny packs, bubble wands, bubbles, street chalk, jump ropes, beach pails or items, beach ball, buckets, shovels. Now, obviously it's geared for the kids, right? Except for maybe the hand fans. Mini first aid kits. Sounded reasonable to me. Little flashlights. Blankets. Small blankets that people can go to outdoor activities and put a blanket down. Maybe use a blanket. And that's all I have.
Okay.
I have a question. What do we have in the budget for?
We have,
That's why-
on this back page, it says estimated budget is $1,500 to 3,000, depending on quantities and mix of items. So I don't know what is our actual
I believe
budget.
our total budget is $7,000 for the commission for the year. So that would be for swag, it would be for conference attendance,
Right.
things of that nature. So you could allocate, make a motion to approve a certain dollar amount, and then staff can look at the items, a variety of items, and then bring it back.
Okay. So does someone want to make a motion for? Okay, you make sure you're okay first. Right.
I think in previous years, what we've spent, like 1,500 in
Something.
previous years.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Tariffs. Okay, it's been moved to allocate $2,000 for,
Earmark.
or whatever,
Yeah,
the name, for lack of a better word.
For clarification, Chair,
Yes, sir.
so are we doing the dollar amount now, and then what about the items?
Would review that and come back with approval. So that was kind of
Okay.
inherent in the recommendation or motion.
Okay. But I have a point that we need to like expedite this process because we have the city birthday in a month. And we have a Oaxaca event, then we have the Christmas tree lighting ceremony soon after that. We have stuff coming up real soon. So we need to we have a few things.
We
right?
have some, and if I were to go tomorrow and I had the ability to just order items, I would say that the chances of us getting them by the city birthday on the 13th is probably not going to happen. So I think in our next meeting is October
Next month,
probably
20th,
October 20th. So
correct.
I mean, regardless, we were looking at, the next big, and we're getting into the calendar next, but the next big event after the birthday would be Halloween and then tree lighting.
Right.
The very least, I think we can get it by tree lighting, and then that sets us up for 2026.
So
In
we
the
probably
event-
have enough stuff in storage to make it through until then. Okay. Okay, so we have a motion for $2,000. So I'm entertaining, we need a second.
A second.
on that. Okay. It's been motioned and seconded to earmark $2,000 or allocate $2,000 to purchase
That means it's
swag
right.
for future city events.
Hmm?
Earmark means it can be changed, right?
I can bring it back at the next meeting,
Allocate.
and I can have some ideas and show them, and then the commission can decide.
Sure.
The minimum is 2,000.
Oh,
And then if it goes over, you only have to.
okay. I like that better.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Right?
Public comment?
Oh, you have a comment?
No, public comment.
Oh, before we vote?
Yes.
Oh, my.
Members of the public in the
Okay.
chamber, please approach the podium.
It is.
Members of the public on Zoom, use the raise your hand feature or dial *9.
My apologies. I am. I'm young.
Chair, I'm not seeing any members wishing to make public comment.
Okay, public comment is now closed. Okay, now it's been motioned and seconded to allocate or earmark or whatever you want to say, $2,000 for purchasing swag for our future city events. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next, business item 6F. Discuss upcoming city events and calendar planning. Oh.
Hmm.
Okay, we have the city birthdays, October 13th. We have Oaxaca by the Sea when is that?
September 28th.
That's right, that's even before that. So anyway, do we want to have
I can run down the list of our upcoming events for the remainder of the year.
please do.
So we have Oaxaca by the Sea, Sunday, September 28th. We have the Seaside Stars unveiling ceremony, Saturday, October 11th. We have the city's 71st birthday, Monday, October 13th at the Oldemeyer Center. We have Halloween Bonanza. Wait, let me back up one. October 4th, we have Movies in the Park. October 3rd, sorry, Friday, October 3rd, Movies in the Park at Laguna Grande Park. We have Halloween Bonanza, Halloween. It's a Friday night at Oldemeyer Center from 6 to 9. Then we will go into the holiday season. We have tree lighting Friday, December 5th. We have, and that will be here at City Hall lawn, 6 to 9. On Saturday, the 13th, we have Cereal with Santa, which is 9 a.m. to 11 at Oldemeyer Center. On the 22nd, December 22nd, we have the annual holiday luncheon, which is at Oldemeyer Center, and that is from 10 to 1. And then the annual New Year's Eve dance on New Year's Eve from 10 to 3. And so that rounds out our events for the year.
Wow.
Then it's the Saturday the 20th. Saturday the 20th.
Okay, does anyone have any suggestions about doing a tabling at any of these events?
What do you mean suggestions or
Well,
volunteers?
which ones would you like to have a table and participate in? Remember how we did it?
Yeah.
I think we should have a table at all of them, but
Oh, my
what
goodness.
I think the question is, who will work?
Exactly.
Who would like to volunteer at the tables?
We need to have that, yes.
Yes.
I think that's too many events. For me to commit to, I know for.
Yeah, but if we all split them up.
Don't you think that some that don't lend themselves to take?
Yes.
Part,
Right.
No,
Or even Halloween.
Night stars. Halloween.
well, Seaside Stars, we might could have a little table out there.
I think we should attend.
We can attend. We can have a table.
Exactly. No. Because that'll take away from the whole purpose, so.
I mean, you could table movies in the parks.
The movies.
It's in a park. Right.
But
But they have before the movie, yeah, exactly, before the movie starts, I'm sure they have pre-game time, pre-movie
Nice
time.
blanket would be nice to play at that time.
We don't have that.
I know.
Okay. My thinking is we do a table at the Oaxaca event. Because that's widely participated in. A lot of people don't know, oh, Parks and Recreation thing, blah, blah, blah. We can get information out. And then the city birthday, possibly.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Okay, oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
thank you. But that, and then down the road, the tree lighting. Yeah, it's okay.
I got lights.
So as
we-
I see.
But we can buy swag that it has lights. We've done that in the past. I mean, you know, the little. We gave them away
Oaxaca is when?
for the police activities.
29th
that we
of
did.
September,
For Oaxaca,
Uh-huh.
the 28th.
28th. So I think we should say
It's her
who's gonna
birthday.
be
Oops.
there.
I said that out loud.
My birthday is the 17th,
Of what?
September, Wednesday.
Oh, Mike, happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you. So I think the Oaxaca celebration, we should say who's gonna be able to come there and be there. And anything before our next meeting, we should make a decision on.
I'll table at the Oaxaca event. I missed last year for some reason. I don't remember why.
The city birthday, the 13th, I think I could, what time is that?
Happy birthday?
Yeah.
6 to 8.
I could do that.
And that's right here.
So
And also the Oaxaca event is
Yeah.
here.
City birthday is at Oldenmeyer.
Odemeyer.
Oh, it is this year. Oh, right. My bad. Okay,
I could show up.
that's closer to me.
On the rock.
Walk.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Something on October 11th?
That's the Seaside Stars event. So, I mean, that doesn't really lend itself to tabling, but, you know, showing up and
we attend,
being a commissioner there.
right? 'Cause some of us are on the
I'm gonna show up. for
committee
lunch
anyway, so it's all good.
tomorrow. I think she said all this stuff. Shows or everything.
What? I'm a lot of things. She's messing with me. Oh, so, hey.
I'm mumbling about my bus.
You got- So we're gonna table at the Oaxaca event, the city birthday, and the tree lighting. Correct? Is that it? Those three things
I would be
this
open
year?
to doing the movies in the park. And why couldn't you do something at Halloween?
can.
It's crazy kids. And it's all kind of games and things they do in the center.
You
And
can
it's
come to a
not really,
chaperone.
You
It's
could
not
give
really
out
lending-
candy, you could play a
we
game.
could, but I mean, there's plenty, what?
Don't be afraid.
I'm not,
I'm saying I volunteer
I'm
my
not-
time to do something
do
at
it.
the Halloween.
It's crazy over there. It's a good thing, I'm just saying, but it is a lot of stuff going on. I'm not doing it.
Okay, that's the
Stay
answer.
at home, turn the lights off.
Right. Oh, gosh.
God,
It's Halloween, not Christmas.
Buddy home. Humbug or whatever.
the tree lighting, yeah, I would do the tree lighting. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Are we on?
When your light's on, you're on. You need to be on.
Chair, you ready for public comment?
Yes. Public comment is open.
Members of the public in the chamber, please approach the podium. Members of the public on Zoom, use the raise your hand feature, dial *9. The member with the iPhone, please unmute and make your public comment.
Good evening, Juliana Fiala here. I'm just curious what kind of information is required to be had in order to volunteer for tabling, and if it's open to the public and how one could get involved in that. Thank you.
Chair, I'm not seeing any members of the public wishing to make public comment.
Okay. Would you care to answer that question for the public?
I'll answer it when you close public
Okay,
comment.
okay. Public comment is now closed.
So to answer the commenter's question, individuals or groups can table at events. We have a form that can fill out. Generally, nonprofits are the ones that do tabling, or we do, it's similar to being a vendor. If you're selling your wares or other items, if you're just tabling to provide information, there's no fee. But if you're a vendor selling items, then there is a nominal fee that the city does collect with that. If you have questions about being a vendor or tabling, you can contact the Oldemeyer Center at 831-899-6800, and we can get you the information to table at each one of our events.
Okay. I'm just going to blurt this out. We also have some openings on our commission. So that's another way you can table with us. Thank you.
We have 2 vacancies.
Okay, moving on to the next item. Okay, reports from recreation staff.
Thanks, Commission. Most of the reports I was going to give was kind of just highlighting our upcoming events, everything that we got brewing over the next between the next meeting. We're getting ready to finalize our winter spring activity guide. So the plan is to have that released for the Halloween event. And we're really just, pushing forward with our Seaside Stars, Oaxaca, and the birthday. But I do want to, shout out and highlight that the city of Seaside, with a lot of help from other departments, but the Recreation Department was integral on achieving Blue Zones certification. So the city as a whole is certified Blue Zones recipients. And with that, the county of Monterey is also Blue Zone certified. And we are the first county in California to have the entire county certified. So it really is a big deal. Some of the projects that we've discussed, the Lincoln Cunningham Trail, that was a big piece on helping us obtain our certification, along with, the bike repair stations that we have at the parks, some of the safe routes to school stuff, the Ord Grove crossing up there, that was a big piece. The farmers market, bringing that back, helped get that out there as well. So there's a variety of things that a lot of us put in the work. It was a 6-year process in order to get that certification. So it will actually be coming to City Council on Thursday, kind of just saying, thank you and highlighting that the city is officially certified. So it is a really big accomplishment. And I know there's a lot of individuals that put a lot of work into that. So it's a really good win for the city.
Thank you for your presentation. Any questions? Commissioners? No. Okay, reports from park staff.
Mr. Corman left, but I think we heard the main report was the playground equipment for Lincoln Cunningham's coming. So they'll be getting ready to install that. That is the really main park piece that is really ongoing right now. We'll have more information once Laguna Grande, the trails works. I will say that there will be a cleanup at Laguna Grande, I believe on Thursday between 4 and 5 p.m. So if anyone wants to help out there, the staff will be going out there as part of Seaside Green Month. So we are, and I think this month or this one piece we're going to do is they're going to go clean up the park. So that's, a nice little, tidbit if anyone wants to go out there.
That's this Thursday.
This Thursday, yeah. 4 to 5. I double check. It's either 4 to 5 or 3 to 4, but I believe it's 4 to 5. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for your report. Anyone have any questions? Thank you. Okay, reports from commissioners. Commissioner Walton.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Commissioner Gaines.
Nothing to report. I'm glad that I'm able to attend the meetings. I know my first real day back that I would be elected by the chair, but I'm glad to be back. God is good. Thank you.
We're all glad that you are back. Okay. Commissioner Pepis.
It's time.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Um, I have something that's of interest to, I hope, all of us. The Neighborhood Improvement Commission is going to be doing their annual work plan. And they're asking all the commissions to come up with some ideas because they're going to be doing a retreat at Oldemeyer Center November 15th. And that retreat meeting is open to the public. So people can go in there, and all of us included, with our ideas to promote projects that we want to see happen in the future, like a gym, facilities, and whatever. Yes, they're having a retreat, and it's going to be on their annual work plan. And we need to start working on these kind of things. So
It's November 15th.
November 15th is the retreat.
What time?
I'm not sure of that. I don't think. Let me see.
Chair, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Give a little more information on that. So the commission is soliciting input from other commissions and groups. So they want other commissions to submit the information by November 7th. So
Correct.
that way they can take all the information they get and review it at their retreat. The chair was correct saying it is open to the public. And so like if if this commission wants to recommend, new waste stations at 7 parks, and it potentially is going to cost $12,000. That was one of the items. They will review it, and then they're going to come up with their list on how they want to recommend to the city council on their TOT funding. So last year they were allocated roughly $300,000. They went and selected a bunch of projects. Council picked some of the projects. And then, so now we're working to get those projects done. And so this will be for the fiscal year 26-27.
Correct. And we do have to have our submissions in to them by November 7th. So we can think about this between now and our next meeting. And our next meeting, we can discuss what do we want to submit to them from this commission. And then we can show up, and the public can show up Saturday, November 15th. It's from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Oldemeyer Center. So, and fully developed plans are not required at this stage. It's just ideas. So anyway, that is down the road. Bright futures ahead of us. Right?
Mhm.
What else?
Adjournment.
You made my brain freeze right now because I was thinking of something else. No, I'm
I
gonna
thought you was talking about
forget.
on the agenda. I'm sorry.
No. No, but thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you to the public for participating in this meeting too. It's great to see you back with us, Alicia. And this meeting is now adjourned at 6:56.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
What?